BBC News, Parliament suspension ruled unlawful.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson's suspension of the UK Parliament is unlawful, Scotland's highest civil court has ruled. A panel of 3 judges at the Court of Session found in favour of a cross-party group of politicians who were challenging the Prime Minister's move. This is because no order has been given by the court to cancel the suspension ahead of a full hearing at the Supreme Court in London, which starts on Tuesday of next week. In a summary of their findings, the Court of Session judges said they were unanimous in the belief that Mr Johnson's decision to suspend was motivated by the improper purpose of stymieing Parliament. They added, the court will accordingly make an order declaring that the Prime Minister's advice to him the Queen and the prorogation which followed thereon was unlawful and is thus null and of no effect. MPs are not currently scheduled to return to Parliament until 14 October, when there will be a Queen's speech outlining Mr Johnson's legislative plans. They appealed to the Inner House of the Court of Session after their original challenge to the suspension of Parliament was dismissed by Judge Lord Docherty last week.
This post received a score of 25,683, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So this was ruled by judges at Scotland's highest civil court. What does this actually mean for the UK? Are they able to enforce it, or does the same need to be ruled by another authority?
In theory, a decision made in Scotland can't be binding on England and Wales because the system is different. This would go to the Supreme Court in the United Kingdom as it is a civil case. This is a case which impacts the whole population of the UK, and thus can't be decided in Scottish courts alone. Nothing will happen until at least the 17th.
Some sources also saying it might not be possible to appeal, as technically Scottish High Court is also recognised as one of the highest on par to Supreme Court. It looks like an order will potentially come into effect Friday. This will be challenged at the Supreme Court on Tuesday. It's divided whether or not the Supreme Court will side with the opposition MPs. It's also worth pointing out the High Court case for Gina Miller was slightly different in that it directly challenged the prorogation as opposed to the advice handed to the Queen which the Scottish High Court case centred on.
How about some good old-fashioned British pragmatism? Parliament immediately recalled, but only for Scottish MPs.
Imagine the Scots had a coup d'état because they were the only people to be able to show up to Parliament. I put forward a motion to make Scotland the centre of government. Ayes, aye. And nays? The motion passes.
Can we still have the typical Parliament shenanigans? Like the floor is dead silent but someone is still screaming, order, order.
Oda oda.
ORDAH order hodor.
Hold the vote. Hod THVOT. HOVOTE.
The major factor in the Scottish case was around a signed document by the government, or rather lack of the document. In cases such as this, where the judges are looking for the reason that the government acted in a certain way, all that is required is a signed memo from a government official or civil servant stating the reason. The judges would then take that in good faith and rule in the government's favour. So we have a government that is willing to go on TV and radio and lie to the public, but no members of it are willing to put their signature to a legally binding document with that lie on it.
Why doesn't the Queen just open it? Just say right here right now, cut the shit, get to work?
The Queen is really just a messenger in all this. She doesn't have any choice but do exactly as told. While the government likes to pretend the Queen has power, she really has absolutely none. Any attempt to exercise her fake powers would immediately lead to the destruction of the monarchy, and they'll never give that up.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.